We're doing here. So you're at this is the Shooter Trooper booth.
I'm at the Shooter Trooper booth, yes.
And so what exactly you're raising money for? And
we're helping the 501st raise money for the Peter Mayhew Foundation. And I'm here also with my good friend Rick Fitz, who was played Dr. Martin on Star Trek: The Next Generation. And we've kind of slightly changed the booth while we're here. It's now called Shooter Trekker instead of Shooter Trooper. And we're getting a lot of good response. There's a lot of people who are taking advantage to take their Star Trek angst out. And Rick's being a very good sport and allowing...
I did shoot Rick a few times in the face.
Yes, and that's the actual costume that his character wore on Star Trek Next Generation, the sort of teal green that he wore on the show.
Okay, so what are the rest of your plans for Celebration?
They're kind of mixed. I'm going to be visiting, of course, is trying to meet as many of my friends off of Facebook as I can, the different fan organizations and podcasts like yourself. Tomorrow at 2, I believe we're going to be at Inside the Forcecast with everyone's favorites, Jimmy, Mac, and Jason. And we'll have my Forcecast trading cards available there for the very first time. I haven't really even seen them myself, so I'm looking forward to that event. And I don't know, I think there might be a round table that I'm going to be on, and the 501st, the photo shoot, and then I'm going to try to spend as much time as I can just seeing the con, because usually I'm behind a table most of the time, so this is one of the few times I'm going to get to actually walk around and see what's going on.
Are you going to be at the premiere tomorrow?
Yes, thank you. Yes, of course, absolutely. We've got, I think, the red carpets at 4 o'clock, and then we've got the 5 o'clock, the premiere for Season 5, which I would suggest you not miss.
Well, we'll be there. We'll be there right early.
Yeah, because the Season 5, I know I say this every time a new season comes out, that it's going to knock your socks off. It's better than the season before, and every time I say it, it's really true. Season 5, from what I've seen of it so far, is just phenomenal. I mean, it's just, we saw a screening of some episodes a few months back over at 20th Century Fox, and so we got to see Clone Wars presented in CinemaScope as it's shot, with the full-blown multi-track sound and everything, and it was just like watching, you felt like you were just in the theater watching Star Wars all over again. It looks that good on the screen, so I'm really looking forward to seeing
we're going to get more Moralo or Tarkin.
Moralo evil. It's funny. It's like most of the other cast members, you kind of know if they're in season, what season they're in, who they're going to play. Since I play so many different characters on the show, we kind of keep it a secret as to who is going to be who's going to show up. But I can say this: I am in a lot of Season 5, so stay tuned. You're going to be hearing a lot of me in Season 5. That's for sure.
And since those who aren't here might not be able to see it, you're going to be in costume sometime soon?
Captain Tarkin will be at Celebration 6, wandering the floor, avoiding the rebels at all costs. They are troublemakers. I'm sorry, but it just has to be said. And but that right now, that's a secret when that appearance is going to happen. So we don't want the rebels getting any plans ahead of time. You know how that turned out in episode 4.
Maybe it'll be the red carpet.
Maybe. Who knows? It could be anywhere, anytime, any place. You never know with Tarkin. He's a shifty one. No one expected him to show up in Season 3. Surprised everybody.
And he showed up well.
Yes, he did. So.
Thank you for your time, Stephen.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
Okay, have fun.
All right. So we're at Celebration, and we're at the Celebration worship service. So probably a little bit different question than what you usually get is, we know you're a big Star Wars fan, you're into Star Wars, and you're obviously religious because the way you comment and so on. So how has Star Wars influenced your faith, or your faith influenced your love and fandom of Star Wars?
It's a great question. I think that everybody that's a fan of Star Wars has this moment in their life when they first saw Star Wars, whichever episode, whichever it was, and it affected them, and they felt changed and different. And I would certainly draw a parallel to when you find Christ in your life, and you realize life is different than what you had originally thought. But it's on a much grander scale than any film can do. It's also, the parallel is, people can quote this movie, any of the 6 movies. You can quote lines, you can, all of that. And that's our call with Christ, is know His Word, be able to hold it in our hearts and have it. Because there's so many people, like with movies, that's their comfort. And they find comfort in that, and it's, when they've had a bad day, they can go and they can put that on, and they can watch Luke Skywalker. They can get into these characters. They can feel the feelings that they had the first time they saw it. I would hope that people could see that and see the parallel, and realize that a personal relationship with Christ is not the weirdness and the funky feelings and the awkwardness of talking about Jesus in front of people. It's the same when you walk into a room. Sometimes you feel like, I like Star Wars, and people, there's this judgment. There's lots of parallels that you can draw into this, and I like to see the fact that here it's really cool. We've got this great group of people coming together for one common belief, and as Christians, we should be coming together one common belief and putting that out there in whatever way we can. And if people happen to notice that we're Christians, great. And if they ask deeper, then you can tell them. But if they don't, hopefully our lives are just examples of that. So, it's a long, kind of convoluted answer, but there's definitely a parallel that I like to draw to people when they're first kind of going, why are you a Christian? Why is this? Well, because there is a peace that passes all understanding in my life due to giving it over to Him. Luke had to give himself over to the Force. He had to give in to that, give up the anger, give up all the bad. So, is there a parallel? Sure there is. In any great story, there is a parallel. So, yeah.
So you've spent a lot of your life, inspiring people with your story, with your experiences and your faith. So what inspires you, or who inspires you?
Christ inspires me, first and foremost. And I think all the people that are saying I inspire them inspire me. It feeds off of each other. When I did my show last night at the main stage, and there's like 2,700 people in that audience, and they're standing up and clapping, and there's people, cheering, and you just go, wow, that's inspirational. That's really cool. And I'm just being me. I'm just a little guy doing goofy voices, and people seem to love it. That is just awesome. It's like, what can I say about that other than thank you, and try to put it back out there. So hopefully it's that feeding within itself, and kind of that's the circle of life, my friend. But it's true. It just really is. It is that simple.
Okay, so very last question then, since I know we have to get ready to go soon. There's lots of people that haven't been able to make it to Celebration. We've had about 30,000 plus people here, but lots of people haven't been able to come, haven't been able to see you do the main stage, do your show.
Yeah.
So a lot of people haven't been able to see, Star Wars weekends and so on. So what would you say to the people that haven't gotten to see your show, haven't gotten to see Celebration, haven't gotten to feel the experience that we've all had here?
Wow, okay. I would say first, my show and my being here is all to encourage people to pursue their dreams. We're all here because we have a one common big love for one thing, that's Star Wars. And also the friendships and the things that we create in it. But hopefully, we get to be an individual, and that's the thing. Be an individual, love what you do, have it in your heart, and believe in it, and get your friends to encourage you to do that, and do that same with your friends, and encourage them. And if you do that within your world, and expect bad things to happen at times. Expect, not in a negative way, but expect that there's going to be trials, but know that those are the things that are going to build you up. I mean, just like, again, look, we're at Star Wars weekends. I'm not going to draw a parallel. What are you, crazy? Luke, who was he when he started, and who was he by the end? And he was the only one that could turn his father around and see, and he did. You say, well, Anakin is kind of this tragic hero, but he's not that tragic. At the end, he did the right thing. He saved everybody. He did the right thing, and he saved his son. And then his son, saved him as well, and it was that. So we need to lift each other up, and we need to see the goodness in each of us, like Luke saw in Vader, in this black, dark, evil creature. He saw the good. He felt the good. So we have to encourage each other to do the same, even when we're having bad days, and take it and run with it and believe it, and truly believe it every day. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
It's your honor.